Okay, now we are going to take a closer look at these meat-free diets and other consumer food trends with Amy Beadreault. Amy is a research fellow with Global Food and Security Project and the Global Health Policy Center at the Center for Strategic and International Studies here in Washington. That's a mouthful, even for...
It certainly is.
Let's talk about what's going on. There are a lot of different alternatives and a lot of money right now being spent developing some items. What is driving this trend right now?
I think it's the food innovation movement that's really happening in Silicon Valley. It's part of the agri-tech segment, so food innovation falls underneath that segment. And in the past 5 years, that whole entire segment has almost tripled in growth of investments. And food innovation is just part of it. So just in 2018, about $518 million went into plant-based alternative meat products, and also other products like CBD products, really the whole food innovation movement. And also consumers are driving it as well, too.
What do consumers think about the term food innovation? Let's compare that to some other things that are out there, meatless products, especially compared to lab-grown or cloned meat.
Sure. The lab clone meat, the meat that is really developed in a petri dish, if you will, that's a little bit different because it's still technically meat. These meat alternatives, they're made of plants. So depending on your philosophy and why you choose to eat plant-based proteins versus animal-based proteins is really what's driving whether you're going to be interested in the cell-cultured petri dish clones.
I guess what I'm getting at, do you think that consumers find the plant-based more appetizing than something in a lab?
I think it's more acceptable. Definitely is less, more digestible for the science aspect of it. You really need to be involved in the science element of developing culture-based protein, really. But that's where the field is moving towards, and it's all basically for sustainability reasons.
Okay, we talked about the sustainability aspect. Let's talk about the environmental issue.
Sure.
Because waste runoff and other kind of runoff into watershed areas has always been a huge problem. In Arkansas, so many chicken coops down in that area. I don't know what they call them, chicken coops, not chicken factories, just a lot of chickens. And a lot of stuff runs into the watershed down in that area. These plant-based items clearly going to be healthier and better for the environment.
Yeah, and you know, the population is going to continue to increase. So we're going to reach about 10 billion people by 2050. Oof. And to meet the animal-based protein needs of that population, it's going to have to, the market's going to increase by up to 72%. So we need to produce 72% more animal-based protein products. And these plant-based alternatives, the cultured celled products, are going to fill that void, and then also not have the environmental damage that, or the greenhouse gas emissions that normal animal protein contributes to.
Absolutely. I'm curious about regulation. Will anybody be regulating these items if it's supposed to give you the protein that meat provides? Like, you know, we've heard of grade A, grade B, grade, you know, on down line. How will it work for the plant-based items? So
in the United States, these just a couple months ago, the USDA and the FDA are putting out a framework for the cultured cell products. For the plant-based products, it's really looking at more of marketing. 25 states now have bills in process on regulating how they're termed. So really a lot of people are up in arms about whether you can actually call a plant-based burger an actual burger because it's not made of any meat, really.
Right.
So, and this goes along a long history of defining what food. I mean, it happened with skim milk. It's happening. Even one of the bills has, can we really call cauliflower rice? Okay. One of the bills even has that.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight with that one on my conscience.
So the 25 bills, what I've learned is that they're very different. A lot of people who are want to call these plant-based protein burgers find it a First Amendment issue, and that's where a lot of the debate is being held in. Really quickly, we're running out of time. Let's talk about some other vegan products such as faux eggs. And the popularity. Are people getting turned off because it's not the real thing? I don't think so. I mean, they're About 60% of United States citizens want to eat more plant-based products. From a health perspective, it depends on the product, whether they're healthy or not. But I think the issues with climate change, the weather patterns that are happening, the climate shocks that are happening all over the globe, I think people are really getting a sense of what they eat really does impact the environment, and that is changing behavior slowly.
People with an appetite for consciousness.
Sure, yeah, that's a good way to phrase it.
Great. Amy, thanks very much. I'm sure we
Thank
want to
you.
have you back again soon. This sounds like a fascinating topic.
It definitely is, and it's growing every day.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.